My name is Brian Lambkin. I'm the Director of the Centre for Migration Studies at the Ulster American Folk Park in Omagh, County Tyrone, Northern Ireland. It struck me that there must be an interesting story behind this object, and was it possible to try and find out what that story actually was? Well, I think it really started with an invitation to dinner, and they showed us this sampler which Jenny had brought back with her from Australia. But this was completely out of my area of expertise. I didn't know, I'd no expertise in the field of this kind of object, a needlework sampler. A sampler is a piece of cloth with embroidery in it. It was very common from the 18th century. This was connected to an important event in Irish history, but what the connection was, we'd no idea. But we started to speculate, and I think our interest grew in the object from that, to find out, well, who on earth was this person, and how on earth had this object ended up in Australia? And that's what really interested me, because what's this Irish object? It's the text of a poem called The Irish Chiefs. What on earth is it doing? How does it come to end up in Australia? And that's what I found particularly interesting. And here we have an object that we can be very confident was brought by a particular emigrant with her on the ship on that long voyage to Australia. So this is what makes it a very special object. I think the thing that interested me in particular was to try and find out something more about the poem. So there was something to go on. Could we find out from the New York nation, something about the New York nation? Where did this poem come from? But at the same time, we thought it would be very interesting to know more about just to try and understand how this sampler came to be in Australia. And that led Jenny to the family, and she got to meet Bernard, she got to meet the Slattery family, and go and talk to them, interview them, and get as much oral history from them and as much family documentary history as she could about the family. It was possible to reconstruct how the sampler had come down from the family and who the maker actually was. And coincidentally, the Ulster American Folk Park was putting together at this time an exhibition of textiles on the theme of migration, threads of emigration. And so the sampler took pride of place in the exhibition, which was launched in August 2005 at the Ulster American Folk Park. And it was marvellous that that Pat and Bernard Slattery were able to be present and be guests of honour to formally open the exhibition.